What's going down, everybody? It's your boy, that guy Mile High, tuning back in front of the reaction. This time we got another one of them top 10 compilations. This time it's unsettling space sounds that the government didn't want you to hear. So yeah, before we jump into that though, we got to give a big shout out to all the members, like we do in all the videos and lives and all that good jazz. So if you want to get a shout out, you want to hear my say your name, like by name, like you shout you out by name, yeah. Go ahead and hit that join button down below. But anyways, man, we got Nick Fisher, Creatively Insane, Carrie, Ryan Parks, Nicole, Token Tug, Casey Girl, Aaron Taylor, Mama Dukes, Misty Summers, Lynn Willow, Driver Thoughts, Mad Creeker, Lynn, Amy Jane Doe, Liz, Nugget, My Hood Life, and Gary Willis. Shout out to all those 20 people right there, man. Yes, we have officially hit 20 full-time members. I appreciate you guys and everything that you do for this channel. If you guys want to be a big pivotal point of why this channel is able to grow and do the things that it does, go ahead and think about hitting that subscribe button and the join button. You dig what I'm saying? Because either way, you're helping us move forward. You know what I'm saying? You're helping us move on up. Yeah, so subscribe, bell notification. That's free 99. And then maybe think about hitting that join button. And there's 3 options: $2.99, $4.99, and $9.99. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, do what you gotta do. Anyways, let's jump into this video, man. We got top 10 unsettling space sounds the government didn't want you to hear. Let's go.
There is a popular old theory that space is soundless due to the fact that most of space operates like a vacuum. But this is an old theory that has proven to not be true many times over. I'm Melissa Milani, your host, and here are your top 10 unsettling space sounds the government didn't want you to hear. In our number 10 spot, we have the Mars quake. Picked up by NASA's InSight, the robot on Mars, on April 6, 2019. In this specific recording, 3 sounds can be heard. The first 2 are suspected to be wind on Mars and a Mars version of an earthquake, and then there's sound from the
Mars
robot.
has earthquakes?
This is wild to hear. And
how can you even, shouldn't it be called a Mars quake, right? Like, it's not Earth, it's Mars, and we can't call, like, it's earthquake because it's a quake in the Earth, not a quake in the Mars. So right, so if on Mars it would be a Mars quake. Yeah, that sounds better.
It makes you wonder how often the Mars quakes happen. Hopefully not too often, because if we plan on moving to Mars someday, all the high maintenance humans will not be okay with that. Okay, fine, myself included. Okay, on a serious note, the sound is pretty intense. Have a listen. In our number 9 spot, we have a Saturn thunderstorm. Apparently, ever since the Voyager flew past Saturn, scientists have taken note of potential lightning deep within Saturn. The sound,
like, I'm sitting here trying to that sounded like a Mars quake, or you know, like an earthquake, but the reality is I don't know what an earthquake sounds like, let alone what the fuck a Mars quake was supposed to sound like. So yeah, it sounded good, you know, sounded real.
Is captured here. To me, it sounds like the intense bubbling of water in a pot, or perhaps the crazy static in between radio frequencies. It's hard to imagine a world like Saturn that may have such intense lightning storms. Imagine Saturn is a world where it always rains.
Like Seattle.
If so, then I have to say that Saturn is probably where hell is. It is believed that the word Saturn is related to Satan, so it works. Take a listen to hear these staticky crackles that are believed to be sounds from a lightning storm. In our number 8 spot, we have Saturn.
So somebody just heard that and was like, that sounds oddly like thunderbolts and lightning hitting the grounds of Saturn. Like, bro, that sounded like some bullshit, bro. That sounded like some popcorn popping, like some, like you was burning your popcorn, you was burning something, you was sizzling something on high, you was trying to get that nice, you know, delicious crust on the steak or something. Like, it sounded like popping grease. You know what I'm saying? Some hot shit on a pan. Like, I don't know what thunderstorms you've been in that sound like, you know, popping grease, but ain't none of the experiences I've had in no goddamn thunderstorms in the whole 30 years of my existence on this planet have I ever felt like, man, that sounds like popping grease. Usually that's just like, boom, boom, you know what I'm saying? Also, it's the whole lots of noises that don't sound like popping grease, but you know, hey man, Who am I? I'm not the scientist. I'm just saying, you know, I'm just speculating. I'm not the scientist.
Radio emissions.
Another
recording from Saturn,
like
and where this one came from is super interesting. In December 2016, NASA's Cassini spacecraft crossed the plains of Saturn and took a number of recordings of the planet. This one in particular literally sounds like the opening to the English dubbed 90s version of Sailor Moon. My fave version of Sailor Moon. Even though that is an unpopular opinion, it's how I got introduced to the show, okay? So it'll always hold a special place in my heart. Anyways, this sound is creepy, and it is the sound of the radio emissions leaving Saturn. Take a listen.
One of the cool cartoons on the Saturday morning. Sound like aliens, bro. You got alien conversation.
In our number 7 spot, we have Jupiter's bow shock. This is a sound that was recorded by the Voyager spacecraft as it was passing through the region of Jupiter. It is said that the sun emits a type of solar wind, which can be repelled by a strong magnetic force such as that of a planet. It is deflected, and the energy is apparently converted into thermal energy. This is known as a bow shock, and what you are about to hear is the sound of a bow shock. The sound reminds me of what I can imagine as an instant catastrophic tornado. Have a listen and let me know if you agree in the comment section below.
Sound like R2-D2.
In our number 6 spot, we have...
Nigga, that sound like R2-D2 taking off in a spaceship and shit, in one of the X-Wings and shit, you know what I'm saying? I was waiting for Luke Skywalker to be like, hey, what's up, R2, you know what I'm saying? Or whoever the fuck it was that I'm not super adverse in my Star Wars, you know, history and, you know, all that good jazz. But whoever the fuck, you know, R2 was supposed to be riding with, I was waiting for his voice, you know, that motherfucker's Anakin Skywalker, one of them niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, one of them motherfuckers. Anyways, let's go.
Jupiter's moon. Jupiter's moon, also known as Ganymede, apparently makes some pretty strange sounds, and I'm pumped to share it with you all. NASA's Galileo spacecraft robot studied Jupiter and its surrounding area, and it picked up on some plasma wave observations, and this confirmed that the moon has its own magnetosphere. These sounds are quite spooky and remind me of the sounds that you can imagine some alien communication device to make. It feels straight
maybe that's what it is.
Because maybe it is. Psych!
Right.
This isn't real, and no one actually ever went to the moon. Dun, dun, dun. Just joking. These are the spooky sounds that Galileo picked up.
Oh yeah, you bet. That's alien chatter right there.
In our number 5 spot, we have the Earth's whisper. I'm sorry, Melissa, did you just say the Earth's whisper? You're going to show us the sound of the Earth talking very quietly? Yes, in a matter of speaking. Literally. Somebody save me from myself. Okay, so NASA recorded the Earth making some pretty crazy noises, and apparently the noise was coming from charged particles emanating from the Earth. It honestly sounds like birds calling to each other on a hot summer day, or what I imagine the rainforest to sound like. But anyways, it's pretty cool to listen to, so take a listen.
It does sound like birds chirping.
In our number 4 spot, we have Callisto. Callisto is another Jupiter moon that we've recorded some audio of. This recording sounds an awful lot like Callisto is filled with C-3POs from Star Wars, as that's the only way I can describe this sound. It's very, you know, robotic, and at the same time, it sounds like it's heavily burning something, but I'm not sure if that's just the recording device or part of the sound. Apparently, Callisto has the weakest interaction with Jupiter's magnetosphere of any of the 4 largest moons. Take a listen and let us know your thoughts.
Oh shit! C-3PO and R2-D2 having conversation.
In our number 3 spot, we have the sounds
that
of
did sound
Jupiter.
like some shit.
The sounds of Jupiter are
that's exactly what it sounded like.
It sounds like crystals dropping mixed with the sound that you hear in movies when things are going back in time. It could also seem like small mice making these sounds too. It's pretty extraordinary and quite different from a lot of these other videos. It's interesting how consistent the sound is also. Apparently, NASA's Cassini spacecraft captured this sound when stopping by Jupiter for a gravitational boost while on its way to its next destination. Have a listen.
Yeah, bro, I feel like we're picking up all these sounds. It just sounds like it's just more proof that there's aliens out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, all this shit sounds like we're intercepting communication, you know, like wavelengths and sound wavelength situations and, you know, whatever else the fuck we're, you know, communication systems is out there and whatever else, you know what I'm saying? That's all I feel like it is. I don't feel like we're catching anything other than the proof that they're out there chattering, you know, talking shit about us.
Coming up in our number 2 spot, we have the sun's vibrations. I couldn't decide if this should be number 1 or 2 on the list because it's just as cool as number 1. Maybe better, that's debatable. What you're about to hear is actual recorded sound from the sun. Whoa. The vibrations in this video may appear to be low, but what's interesting about the vibrations is that they appear to be positive. It feels good to listen to its hum, like it has a warmth to it that will lift up your spirits if you continue to listen, which honestly makes sense. I don't know why, but it does. Anyways, listen to the sounds of the sun and let me know if you feel and understand what I'm talking about. In our number 1 spot.
Wow, that was like oddly like satisfying in a weird way, like calming. That's really weird because usually sounds like that sounds like I can imagine that being turned up and like cranked, like if you crank the volume on that shit, like it would be like one of those sounds that just like, oh, turn it off, like nails on a like on a chalkboard or something, you know what I'm saying? But like at that tone and however it was nice, you know, that was nice.
Spot we have the black hole. Okay, I had to put this one in first because the concept of the black hole is just mind-blowing to me. A black hole is essentially a region of space-time where gravity is so strong that nothing, you know, no particles or even electromagnetic radiation such as light can escape from it. People believe that beyond a black hole are other dimensions and universes. It's a thing of fascination for many, and so of course when I came across this sound bit, I had to include it in this video. This is a sound bit that shows the force of a black hole and how terrifying it might be to get close to one. Not that we ever would, unless of course we build a spacecraft in our lifetime that gets us close to it, but unless that happens, the likelihood is slim. Anyways, it sounds like what I imagine ghosts or ghouls sound like when they're moaning. Take a listen.
Fair enough.
Everyone, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for good vibes and more content like this.
It was death in the black hole, you know, nothing escapes. So hey, yeah, that's hell. The black hole is hell. Yep, I think we figured it out. Anyways, let me know what y'all thought about that down in the comments below. I think weirdly enough, the sun sound was the one that I liked the most because it was oddly satisfying and like calming. And then I'd say between the R2-D2 one, like taking off on like an X-wing ship, or the R2-D2 talking to C-3PO situation on that moon or whatever the fuck it was, of Saturn or whatever country. No, I was about to say country, whatever planet. They were talking about the moon. I think it was Saturn. But those three. So in that order too. It'd be like the sun, the R2-D2 taking off in the X-wing, and then the R2-D2 and C-3PO having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yep, just like that. Catch you on the next one. Peace.